Okay, we're going to cover units of measure here under the Materials and Inventory tab, under the Materials folder, Units of Measure. I'm going to use a pretty common example. I'm going to use a type. There are several types: counts, length, area, volume, etc. I'm going to use length because it's a pretty popular need as far as conversion. And let's suppose, if you look here, I have no length, no rolls. One of the things that happens with length is you get in your material budget a number of linear feet of edge banding, but you purchase edge banding by the roll. And rolls will be 322 feet, 600 feet, 250 feet, different sizes. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a unit of measure, and I'm going to call it, it's going to be a length type, and I'm going to call the long name a roll 600. And the short name I'm going to call RL 600. So this is going to be a 600-foot roll. Now, the way I deal with this is down here a roll, which to get itself is multiplied by 1. So let's go by the short name. You read left to right. From roll 600, multiply by 1 to get roll 600. But if I want to roll 600 and I want linear feet, so now what I want to do is I want to say I want to go from a linear foot and multiply by 600, save that. Now I have, if I go from a roll 600, multiply by 600 to get the linear feet. So that's pretty straightforward. How about going the other direction? Let's go from linear feet to roll. So I'm going to put my mouse on linear foot, and I'm going to say, to get to a roll 600, I'm actually going to divide by 600. And so that's, when you divide by 600, it is a multiplication. It's going to be 0.00166. We only go out to 5 places on the decimal point. If you do the calculator, 1 over 600 is just going to continually go out to 6s. So now I save that. Now to go from linear foot, I multiply by this number to get 1 roll. So if I take that number, 0.0016 times 600, it's going to come out to 1. So 1 roll. When we're doing purchasing, let's say I need 300 feet, and it comes in a 600-foot roll, it will buy 1 roll to meet that 300 feet. When you receive it, it will put 300 against the job and 300 to stock. So now you know you have 300 in stock. This is very simple. A popular, common mistake is to have this backwards, where you're multiplying this by 600, and so you get 600 rolls. That would really be a problem. So be careful that you read left to right to go from this, multiply by this, to get this. And if you do that, you should always have a balance between the 2 directions. If you're going to have a roll, 322, you should have one that goes linear feet to 322 and one 322 to linear feet. It's pretty simple. Each of these are different categories. You cannot go from length to volume or lumber or something else. Each of these types must stay in their category. So that's the way you set these up. It's pretty straightforward. Always make sure that you have corresponding existing units of measure that go with your materials and inventory, because you can have an orphan where you have a unit of measure here because it was all imported that doesn't really have a valid unit of measure corresponding to it. So make sure your units of measure line up. The areas to concentrate are going to be mostly in the area of like linear feet for rolls. You may have some issues with pairs from each to pair and pair to each, depending on how they're coming from Cabinet Vision.